On Global TV News Prime, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reiterates his administration's commitment ease economic hardship. In business, federal government reaffirms its ambition to expand Nigeria's solid minerals industry. And on the foreign scene, court returns Guinea-Bissau opposition leader Domingos Simon to prison. Coup plot. And in sports, the National Sports Commission secures free nationwide coverage for Commonwealth Games campaign. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ease economic hardship facing Nigerians. The president, who was represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, stated this at the commissioning of the newly constructed access roads to the informal sector layout in Wasa District, Abuja. He assured citizens that the difficult reforms being implemented will pave the way for a more prosperous future. Kabir Hassan reports.
President Tinubu acknowledged the economic challenges confronting the country, saying the reforms introduced by his administration were difficult but necessary to rebuild the nation's economy. He urged Nigerians to remain patient and continue supporting government efforts, assuring that the sacrifice being made today will lead to a lasting prosperity.
I'm deeply aware of the current economic realities across our nation. As your president, I feel your pain, I hear your concerns, and I carry the weight of your daily struggle. The economic reforms we have initiated are undoubtedly painful, and their immediate impact has been households and businesses alike. However, I assure you with the utmost sincerity that these decisions were not made lightly. They are difficult but necessary surgeries required to save the patient. We are painstakingly tearing down the structures of the past to lay an unshakable, sustainable foundation for a prosperous future.
The president reaffirmed his administration commitment to improving the welfare of Nigerians through sustained infrastructure development, economic reform, and policies aimed at building stronger and more resilient nation. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, said the Wasa Informal Sector project fulfills President Tinubu's promise to extend development to all parts of the Federal Capital Territory, assuring residents that the road project across Abuja will be completed before the end of his administration.
We believe by the grace of God, before the end of the tenure of the President second term, that the full path, which is out about 10 kilometers, would have been awarded and also completed for the use of our people. One thing that Aqua Trader Mechanic Association, where they are along there, will be moved to this particular district and the informal sector. But those promises were made by every government that has come. But thank God Almighty today, as Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Nigeria, he discussed with them and told them that they moved them here. This has been fulfilled.
The newly commissioned access roads are expected to improve mobility and support businesses within Wasa informal sector, as the federal government says it will continue investing in infrastructure to improve the welfare of residents and fulfill the Read Hope agenda. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
The pupils and teachers abducted in Orire local government area of Oyo State have regained their freedom. The development was disclosed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga. In a shared post on his verified X handled, Ononuga simply announced that the victims had been released by their abductors as of the time of filing this report. Details surrounding the release, including whether any ransom was paid or the circumstances leading to their freedom, had yet to be disclosed. Reactions have trailed the disclosure by the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, that Nigerian soldiers now earn a minimum monthly salary of 100,000 naira. Veterans and serving personnel describe the amount as grossly inadequate. This is as they accuse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of failing to implement a salary increment he promised nearly 4 months ago. In line with the concerns, President Tinubu convened a security meeting at the Presidential Villa Abuja comprising the entire military command, intelligence leadership, and top security advisors. The Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, had said Nigerian soldiers now earn a minimum monthly salary of 100,000 naira, following a recent review of their welfare by the federal government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described the newly remodeled Abuja City Gate as a symbol of Nigeria's unity, diversity, and shared aspirations, as it reflects the nation's pride and identity. The president made the remark during the inauguration of the landmark in Abuja. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
President Tinubu, represented by the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, said the upgraded City Gate, featuring a water fountain representing the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, project the image of a united nation and serves as a befitting gateway to Nigeria's capital. He said the project is part of effort to strengthen national identity while improving the aesthetic of the Federal Capital Territory.
This newly remodeled Abuja City Gate, with its beautiful water fountain representing the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, tells every visitor and Nigerians arriving from the airport that they have entered a city built on unity, diversity, and shared aspirations.
The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, said the transformation of the City Gate followed the intervention of the First Lady, who drew attention to the poor state of the monument. He expressed confidence that the remodeled landmark will become a major attraction for residents and visitors.
Today, our city gate has changed. Come here, people can do their marriages here, can do their entertainment here, take pictures, and go and tell them, I am in overseas. The overseas I am is Nigeria.
The remodeled Abuja City Gate is one of several projects inaugurated by the FCT administration to mark the President Tinubu's third year in office and the 50th anniversary of the Federal Capital Territory. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
The National Working Committee, NWC, of the All Progressive Congress, APC, alongside top party leaders, is currently meeting at the Continental Hotel in Abuja to formally present Vice President Kashim Shettima as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's running mate for 2027 presidential election. And development comes amid months of speculation that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu might replace Shettima with a Northern Christian as his vice presidential candidate ahead of the election. Senior APC leaders currently at the venue confirmed to our correspondent that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has renominated Shettima as his running mate and that the party is set to make the announcement official. Moving on now to River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara presented a proposed 1.854 trillion naira appropriation bill for the 2026 fiscal year to the River State House of Assembly. This marks Fubara's first appearance before the Martin Amaewhule-led legislature since the political crisis that divided the Assembly in 2023. The presentation followed a motion moved by the Majority Leader, Major Jack, and seconded by the Minority Leader, Sylvanus Owankwo, inviting the Governor into chamber after Speaker Amaewhule took his seat. On the budget tagged Budget of Resilience for Growth and Development. The appropriation proposal is aimed at sustaining economic expansion, improving infrastructure, strengthening social services, and driving human capital development across the state. The federal government has assured Nigerians that there is no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in the country, while unveiling a presidential communication team to strengthen public awareness and emergency preparedness. The reassurance came from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, during the inaugural meeting of the Communication Subcommittee of the Presidential Task Force on Ebola virus disease preparedness and emerging public health threats in Abuja. Sadia Yakubu tells us more.
The Minister for Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, emphasized that While there is no cause for panic, Nigerians should remain alert and rely only on verified information from official government sources.
Let me assure Nigerians that there is currently no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. Let me repeat, no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. However, recent developments elsewhere in Africa remind us that infectious diseases know no borders. Our responsibility, therefore, is to remain vigilant while providing accurate information that reassures the public without creating any fear or panic.
Idris commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for establishing the Presidential Task Force, describing it as a proactive measure to safeguard public health through coordinated planning, effective communication, and timely response. He noted that communication remains a critical pillar in managing public health emergencies, recalling Nigeria's successful containment of Ebola outbreak in 2014 through strong leadership, effective surveillance, and sustained public awareness campaigns.
Let me express our profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his foresight in establishing this Presidential Task Force. This proactive decision reflects the administration's commitment to protecting the health and well-being of Nigerians through preparedness, coordination, and timely action. It is always better to prepare before a crisis than to respond after one has emerged.
The minister also disclosed that the National Orientation Agency has commenced nationwide sensitization using approved health messages developed in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention. He urged Nigerians to maintain good hygiene, promptly report suspected symptoms to health authorities, and disregard unverified reports capable of causing unnecessary panic. The federal government says preparedness, public cooperation, and accurate information remains essential to protecting the country against Ebola and other emerging public health threats. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
Imo State Police Command has intensified its crackdown on violent crimes, arresting 184 suspects for kidnapping, terrorism, armed robbery, and other offenses within the last 2 months. Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Audu Garba Busso, made this known while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the command in the 2 months. Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
The Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Audu Garba Busso, says sustained intelligence-led operations have yielded major breakthrough in the fight against criminality across the state. He reveals that the arrest of 2 suspected kidnap kingpin led operative to a criminal hideout in the Ebema Rivers Creek, where 7 additional suspects were apprehended and more weapons recovered.
It will be recalled that on 30 June 2026, the command successfully rescued a kidnapped victim in Egbema, who was abducted on 27 June 2026 by the same kidnapping syndicate. Intelligence obtained from rescue operation, the subsequent arrest of kingpins, and their confessional statements led operative to the suspect hideout, culminating in the latest operation. During the operation, the camp was successfully dislodged and 7 additional suspects were arrested. During the operation, the command recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 4 AK-47 magazines, 16 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 3 locally made cut-to-size gun, 16 live cartridges, 1 empty Beretta magazine, 20 rounds of GPMG ammunition, 1 human skull, and assorted criminal charms.
The Commissioner of Police further says a follow-up operations at the Obiapo swamp uncover more ammunition, while investigations linked members of the gang to the killing of 2 personnel of the Imo State Home Security Outfit. The command also announced the arrest of 2 suspects in 2 separate sexual offense cases involving minors in Osu and Ngobala local government areas.
Acting on credible intelligence, operatives of the Imo State Police Command stormed the Obiaku swamps in Ohaji Egbema local government area, where they recovered an additional catch of 346 rounds of live ammunition, comprising 122 rounds of AK ammunition, 148 rounds of M16 rifle ammunition, and 76 rounds of 96 Beretta pistol ammunition. The operative also recovered 7 magazines comprising 4 AK-47 rifle magazines and 3 M16 rifle magazines, respectively.
CP Bose urges residents to continue providing timely and credible information to security agencies, stressing that public support remains vital in sustaining the fight against crime in the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. News Prime continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Glad you could join us. Weather conditions are shaping up for an active day across much of the country as early morning thunderstorms are expected to develop across the northern region, affecting parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto State. And across the central region, we also expect light rainfall, while parts of the coastal areas, including parts of Ogun, Abia, Ondo, and Lagos State, are expected to experience scattered showers and thunderstorms. And as the day unfolds, thunderstorm activity is expected to intensify and extend across many parts of the country, bringing periods of rains that are expected to persist through the afternoon and into the evening hours. And with the widespread cloud cover and rainfall, daytime temperatures across the southern cities will remain in their upper 20s. And we expect a continuous drop in both day and nighttime temperatures throughout the weekend. And that's your weather update for Saturday. I am Akani Samarda.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the federal government has reaffirmed its ambition to expand Nigeria's solid minerals industry 25-fold to about 30 trillion naira, equivalent to approximately $21 billion by 2030. As reforms in the sector continue to attract fresh investments and significantly increase government revenue. The Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Solid Minerals Development Fund, Fatima Shinkafi, disclosed this while delivering the keynote address titled Building Nigeria's Solid Minerals Future, the Power of Academia, Government and Industry in Partnership at the Maiden Faculty of Physical and Earth Sciences Annual Lecture Series of the University of Lagos. A statement signed by the spokesperson by the Solid Minerals Development Fund, Ido, said the federal government's ongoing reforms in the mining sector has increased Federation revenue by more than 337% within 2 years, while attracting about $2.6 billion in the first investment commitment. The International Monetary Fund has projected that global headline inflation will increase from 4.1% in 2025 to 4.7% in 2026. In its July 2026 World Economic Outlook update, the IMF stated that the global economy is currently navigating the cross currents of war and technological advancement. The Washington-based lender projected global growth of 3.0% in 2026 and 3.4% in 2027, down from the average of 3.5% recorded in 2024-25, according to the report shared by the IMF official X handle. This modest slowdown reflects the impact of war in the Middle East, which is being partly offset by accelerated momentum in artificial intelligence adoption. In foreign news now, the military court placed Guinea-Bissau opposition leader Domingos Simios Pereira in prison, according to security source, as he faces accusations of having tried to overturn the previous government. Pereira, leader of the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, was detained when the army overthrew President Omaro Sissoco Embalo of the November 26 last year. However, he was released in January and have been living under house arrest in Bissau since then. Pereira stands accused of involvement in an attempted October 2025 coup, which he alleged to have helped finance in addition to separate financial crimes and involvement in a 2023 coup attempt. Iran has laid to rest its former supreme leader al-Khamenei over 4 months after his killing in an airstrike, as 2 days of U.S. and Iran attacks raised fears of return to all-out war. Khamenei's flag-covered coffin was carried aloof into the shrine of Imam Reza in his home city of Mashhad in eastern Iran as a sea of people waited outside and listened to prayers with no sign of public appearance by his son and successor Mujtaba Khamenei. The burial came after a second day of tit-for-tat attack by Washington and Tehran's forces, with Iranian officials reporting that U.S. strikes killed 17 people and state media saying one targeted a railway line between Tehran and Mashhad. In sports news now, with just 13 days to the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, Nigerians will be able to follow Team Nigeria's campaign live and free on television and digital platforms. This is as the National Sports Commission has partnered with the WAT Network to secure free-to-air broadcast rights as athletes intensify preparations and promise impressive performances on international stage. Sports correspondent Anete Patrick tells us more.
The countdown to Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games has entered its final phase, with the National Sports Commission taking another major step to bring the excitement closer to Nigerians. Through a partnership with the WAT Network, the Commission has secured free-to-air broadcast rights, allowing millions of viewers to watch Team Nigeria compete live on the Nigerian Television Authority, TV Continental, other terrestrial television stations, and online platforms throughout the Games. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olopade, and the Chief Executive Officer of WAT Media Group, Chichi Nwako, say the initiative is designed to unite Nigerians behind their athletes while inspiring the next generation of sporting talents.
Essentially, I feel this is a great opportunity for the media to partner us and disseminate extensively what this is about so that millions of Nigerians from the obscure parts of the country will be able to enjoy the games.
We've secured the free-to-air rights, meaning that every Nigerian won't have to worry about subscription. The key thing is that as the entire events are available for viewing, is that we encourage the press to work with us for highlights, clips, for your news segments, for your digital platforms.
The chairman of the commission, Shehu Diko, says the initiative underscores the commission's commitment to making major international sporting events accessible to all Nigerians while strengthening support for Team Nigeria as the nation's athletes compete on one of the world's biggest multi-sport stages.
Budget line since 2025. We have a clear budget line where we put in our budget line that there's a provision to acquire sports rights for leagues and elite sports for monetization through NTA. Exactly what we are doing here. We are not just throwing the money down the drain. If we buy this right will go to the networks and everything, and we will try to monetize it.
As broadcast plans take shape, Team Nigeria athletes have also expressed confidence in their readiness to deliver memorable performances and make the nation proud.
I see some elite performance and extraordinary performance. I'm assuring you, like, the 100 meters is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I hope and I believe that we are ready to go and we are going to try our best.
I'm going to give my best, as I always do.
I just want the Nigerian to support us because, like Ajayi said, we are ready and we are going to make Nigeria proud.
The Commission believes the Glasgow Games will not only strengthen national support for Nigerian athletes, but also serve as an important platform in preparations for future global competitions, including Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. Anietie Patrick, Global TV News.
As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. Brought to you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ease economic hardship facing Nigerians. And in business, the federal government has reaffirmed its ambition to expand Nigeria's solid minerals industry 25-fold to about 30 trillion naira equivalent to approximately $21 billion by 2030, as reforms in the sector continue to attract fresh investment and significantly increase government revenue. And on the foreign scene, the military court placed Guinea-Bissau opposition leader Damago Simeons Pereira in prison, according to a security source, as he faces accusation of having tried to overturn the previous government. And in sports, with just 13 days to the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, Nigerians will be able to follow Team Nigeria's campaign free and fair on television and digital platforms. And that's it on News Prime. Here's a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening.